for all. He loves me and I love him. You are just a little bit too late, Mother. October 1. I never can write down all the things that have happened. The very day after I wrote that Mother had forbidden my going to the class, Charlie came to see her, and they had a regular fight together. He has told me about it since. Then, as he could not prevail, his uncle wrote, told her it would be the making of Charlie to be settled down on one young lady instead of hovering from flower to flower, as he was doing now. Then Jenny came with her pretty ways, and cried, and told Mother what a darling brother Charlie was. She made a good deal, too, out of his having lost both father and mother, and needing my affection so much. Mother shut herself up, and I have no doubt prayed over it. I really believe she prays over every new dress she buys. Then she sent for me and talked beautifully, and I behaved abominably. At last she said she would put us on 1 year's probation. Charlie might spend one evening here every 2 weeks, when she should always be present. We were never to be seen together in public, nor would she allow us to correspond. If at the end of the year we were both as eager for it as we are now, she would consent to our engagement. Of course we shall be, so I consider myself as good as engaged now. Dear me, how funny it seems. October 2. Charlie is not at all pleased with Mother's terms, but no one would guess it from his manner to her. His coming is always the signal for her trotting downstairs. He goes to meet her and offers her a chair, as if he was delighted to see her. We go on with the lessons, as this gives us a chance to sit pretty close together, and when I am writing my exercises and he corrects them, I rather think a few little things get onto the paper that sound nicely to us, but would not strike Mother very agreeably. For instance, last night Charlie wrote, "Is your mother never sick? A nice little headache or two would be so convenient to us." And I wrote back, "You dear old horrid thing, how can you be so selfish?" January 15, 1833. I have been trying to think whether I am any happier today than I was at this time a year ago. If I am not, I suppose it is the tantalizing way in which I am placed in regard to Charlie. We have so much to say to each other that we can't say before Mother, and that we cannot say in writing, because a correspondence is one of the forbidden things. He says he entered into no contract not to write, and keeps slipping little notes into my hand, but I don't think that quite right. Mother hears us arguing and disputing about it, though she does not know the subject under discussion, and today she said to me, "I would not argue with him if I were you. He never will yield." "But it is a case of conscience," I said, "and he ought to yield. There is no obstinacy like that of a for—" She had stopped short. "Oh, you may as well finish it," I cried. "I know you think him a fool." Then Mother burst out. "Oh, my child," she said, "before it is too late, do be persuaded by me to give up this whole thing. I shrink from paining or offending you, but it is my duty as your mother to warn you against a marriage that will make shipwreck of your happiness." "Marriage!" I fairly shrieked out. "That is the last thing I have ever thought of." I felt a chill creep over me. All I had wanted was to have Charlie come here every day, take me out now and then, and care for nobody else. "Yes, marriage," Mother repeated. "For what is the meaning of an engagement if marriage is not to follow? How can you fail to see, what I see, oh, so plainly, that Charlie Underhill can never, never meet the requirements of your soul? You are captivated by what girls of your age call beauty, regular features, a fair complexion and soft eyes. His flatteries delude, and his professions of affection gratify you. You do not see that he is shallow, and conceited, and selfish, and— Oh, mother, how can you be so unjust? His whole study seems to be to please others." "Seems to be, that is true," she replied. "His ruling passion is love of admiration. The little pleasing acts that attract you are so many traps set to catch the attention and the favourable opinion of those about him. He has not one honest desire to please because it is right to be pleasing. Oh, my precious child, what a fatal mistake you are making in relying on your own judgment in this, the most important of earthly decisions." I felt very angry. "I thought the Bible forbade backbiting," I said. Mother made no reply, except by a look which said about 140 different things. And then I came up here and wrote some poetry, which was very good for me, though I don't suppose she would think so. October 1. The year of probation is over, and I have nothing to do now but to be happy. But being engaged is not half so nice as I expected it would be. I suppose it is owing to my being obliged to defy mother's judgment in order to gratify my own. People say she has great insight into character, and sees at a glance what others only learn after much study. October 10. I have taken a dreadful cold. It is too bad. I dare say I shall be coughing all winter, and instead of going out with Charlie, be shut up at home. October 12. Charlie says he did not know that I was subject to a cough, and that he hopes I am not consumptive, because his father and mother died of consumption, and it makes him nervous to hear people cough. I nearly strangled myself all the evening, trying not to annoy him with mine. Chapter 3.